All right, same story, different day. I just finished putting the dashboard back in. I've got our external battery in quotes hooked up, and seems to be everything's working. Got our standard beeper. Pop on here. Got the headlight going. The blinkers are working. I haven't put the front right headlight in yet, so it's obviously broken. Headlights are working, which is nice. The window works, which is cool. It's really nice to see how quick a new motor is. The door locks are interesting. I'm wondering if there's a Canadian thing that prevents me from locking this door, maybe, unless it's shut. I don't have a second hand. I'm just going to try this out. Okay, yeah. That's just some Canadian thing. You can't lock the door with the doors open, maybe. So this car in its last 8.4 miles, sorry, in its last 21 miles, got 8.4 miles per gallon. The trips are 4.4 and, well, 4.4 again. So, anywho, the lights are all working, I guess. Yeah. And the radio works, but there's no antenna. There's only one speaker, so you can listen to static, I guess. One thing with the HVAC system is that it's in Celsius, and that it makes sense, obviously, but I've always thought that this button switched that as well. I never really paid attention to it, I guess. But it does not. So now I know that. But yeah, obviously there is no heating and cooling system in this car, but you can definitely play around as if it were there. One thing on the AC, I took the AC relay out. There's a clutch relay specifically in the fuse panel and under the hood. I'm thinking that I can run this engine with that fuse removed without pressurizing the HVAC system. So if anyone has any comment on that, it'd be nice to know. I think that when the clutch is disengaged, there's just no motion on the compressor at all. Might not be the case though when there's no pressure on the system. It might try to move. Mirror's working. Presumably the horn works. It's not plugged in, obviously, but yeah, no, it was a lot of work getting this harness back in. Just a lot of things. I'm gonna show you the bars on the other side. I show just a few things here. On these wire harnesses, so these are the ones I got out of another car in Georgia. I'm gonna probably just kind of move them all in the back. We'll see, it's still to be determined. And I think I'm gonna mount the ECM the way that they had it in the museum, which is incorrect, which is visible, because this tray is actually painted. They taped it, but if you remember, they had it flipped around the other way. So to be determined what we do on that. But check out the bar. I got this bar painted. I painted actually quite a few of the bars in the car that were rusty. I removed all the rust and then painted them, and I think it looks good. I forgot those, but I think it's okay. This dashboard's not actually in very good shape, so I'm thinking the dashboard I got from that other car, which is sitting over there, is in really nice shape. So I think I might drop it over here into this low mile G1 Insight, which is in super, super good shape. I drove it up to IC last year. I might take the dashboard out of that car and put this one in because it's in much, much better shape. And then cut this one. So the dashboard that's in the red car there, Eugene is what I call that one, has a lot of damage on the right side. So it's possible I might try and reproduce this cut, which wasn't actually done very well. I kind of tried to file it a bit. But you can see there's just a ton of scratches here. But also, on the other hand, I'm not sure it's really worth the time. You know, this car is what it is. I think the story on this car is that it was cut away, so I don't think it needs to be in perfect shape. Other things that I've done on the car, I'm kind of running out of parts to put back in it. It's getting pretty close. I've got all the electrical stuff. The pedals are in. I'll show you that. So we've got a gas pedal, which actually is really dark. I guess you can't turn the light on while you're filming either. well, anyway, we've got a clutch pedal that works. We've got a brake pedal that theoretically works, except that the brake lines aren't hooked up. And we got a gas pedal that's tensioned properly. So that's really cool. What else? I don't know. I feel like I had other things. Oh, the airbag. So I took the airbag out, and I was thinking this airbag is going to be in good shape. It's not. They actually removed the explosive mechanism out of it. They cut it out completely, which it's annoying, but I definitely need one of these. I didn't take the one out of that car in Georgia because, to be honest, it wasn't in very good shape. The Honda logo specifically was in really rough shape, like someone had beat it with a hammer. And then also, unfortunately, the seatbelt that I removed doesn't appear. It appears to just be stuck locked, which I think is. I actually don't know, but I feel like the SRS system maybe locks the seatbelt, maybe explosively charges them back. But the airbags in that car hadn't gone off. The car hadn't really been in a wreck, so at least not before it was driving. So I might open this up, but honestly, it's not in the greatest shape, and it is visible. So maybe it's not. No, it's not visible. It's covered by that middle mat. So I'll see if I can get it to work. If I can even just get it to come out, so obviously no one's going to be sitting in the passenger seat of that car. So, anywho, yeah, that's the state of things. So at this point, I need to just throw this carpet back in, put the steering wheel on, and then of course the engine bay. I did put the wiper system back together today. I don't know what that O22 is on there. I've never noticed that before. Is that? That's actually stamped in the steel. Okay, I guess I've just never seen it. So the engine's kind of messy, obviously. I did mention I took the AC clutch relay out. It's this relay right here, and I think that will keep the clutch from actually engaging. Let me show you the actual problem or concern here. The HVAC system, the climate control is completely removed, and these lines have been exposed for a long time and are not in great shape. And this one was bent by the first welding attempt. And I don't really want to repressurize the system because there's no need to. There's nothing to use it. So I'm thinking that when the clutch is disengaged, that the AC compressor down there just kind of freewheels. But I don't know if that's going to be the case if these lines are left unpressurized. There might just be free drift. At the end of the day, if it breaks the AC compressor, I mean, whatever. If we're not going to use it, that's fine. But I guess as long as it didn't make horrible sounds, that would be okay, I guess. So we'll see. If anyone knows more about HVAC stuff, we do have the evaporator, and theoretically it could be connected, but again, there's no fans. And you know, I thought about taking the HVAC system out of that car in Georgia, but I didn't. It wasn't in there to begin with. All the connectors are there at this point. I'm only missing a couple connectors in the car, and I could obviously go get them from that Georgia car. So, at the end of the day, that's the state of this project. I am very soon going to be working on another project, and so this guy will just kind of go back on hold. But I have had a lot of fun with it. I did put the dash from that other board in here. This dash was in incredible shape. That car had 240,000 miles on it, and both the dashboard and the instrument panel were just in really good shape. So I ended up putting it in here. Here's the old one somewhere. Let's see. This is the one that actually came in the cutaway, and it has some pretty bad scratches. You know, people with rings or whatnot. I swapped everything and I cleaned everything, but like it had on the dash trim, it had this damage here, it had that damage here, had been hit there. You know, just in general wasn't in very good shape. The new dashboard, I guess that, oh yeah, and even there were some hits on the top there. The new dashboard cleaned up really well, and it has some very slight discoloration right there, but that's it. Otherwise, it's in perfect shape, and it just baffles my mind that the car could have 240,000 miles on it. I feel like the owner of that car in Georgia probably drove it, but parked it in a garage, maybe. and when they drove it with the AC on to keep everything cool, and drove it like thousands of miles at a time. You know, it was driving across the country or whatever. Just because the plastic in that car is in super good shape for a 240K. I mean, this plastic is very pliable. It's not sun drenched. It's in really good shape. So yeah, more babbling. At the end of the day, I have a ton of parts left over still that I still need to put in. I still need to get that wheel well back in. The headlight needs to be cleaned off. One of the pieces on it was broken. You can see right here. I need to glue that piece back on. Again, that's just the compliance past the state inspection process thing. But yeah, so the next step will be obviously getting the engine to crank over, and then I'll have to throw this on a trailer and take it to the I have to drive it to Nashville to the anti-crime and theft unit, so they can verify that all of the parts on the car are not stolen, which is silly, but whatever. Obviously, I'll just load that on a trailer. Got this headlight on, or the tail light on there. I think one of the bulbs, I think the turn signal bulb might be blown out, but the brake lights work, so that's nice. And then, yeah, I'm going to go and I have some old tires. I think they had maybe 40,000 miles on them, but they got to be like 10 or 12 years old. So I have another wheel that I don't even know where this one I got from Georgia. I have another one somewhere, and I don't know where I got it from. I just kind of had it when I moved one time. You know, the theory that insights have more insights when you leave them together is very true, as a theory at least. I don't know where the other wheel is. I might have left it at, you know, when I rented that house before. It might be in their basement, but I mean, they're just down the street. I could knock and just say, hey, you guys find a wheel? Because, yeah, I have no idea where any of that stuff is right now. Nope. Maybe it's just underneath this car. Yep, okay, yeah. So there's a couple, you can't see anything, but there's the old wheel and a couple tires. So that way this car will be able to have wheels that are not cut. I think these wheels, I think you could probably drive on them. There's a substantial portion of the ribs left. And it's possible you could leave the back one on. But this front one, it's the same cutout, but I'd hate for this wheel to fall off while you're driving the car. That would be very unfortunate. So the front wheel, at least when the car is being driven, which probably means forever, we'll probably have one of those wheels on there. So anywho, like I said, this project is likely going to be put back on pause. Hopefully not for 2 years, obviously. Lauren joked that, because she saw me working on the car, obviously, and she joked that she would be surprised if the car were gone by the end of the year. So that's some kind of timeline. I don't know if that is or isn't going to happen, but I'm certainly excited to get this car out of my life, because it's one less thing to do. But I just don't know when that's going to happen, because it's about to start on a different project. I will have probably one more post where I at least hand crank this engine, probably change the oil, get everything enough back together. The goal is, so this car, basically I put it on skates and it fits underneath that staircase so that it's just out of the way. Ignore the fuse panel there, it's not the code to do that, but I don't really care about that. So yeah, the goal is going to be to get everything back in the car. A lot of the parts you see sitting here are not from this car, but a lot of them are. So none of that is, of course, the middle mat. This stuff all is. The hood certainly is. Obviously, only one of the 3 armrests or whatever that is. Anywho, that's it for now. I'm gonna go home. I've been chugging on this thing basically all day. I was really, really surprised how long it took to put this interior back together, just because so much stuff needed to be cleaned, and I found a few more things that needed to be spliced, and yep, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.